Hello beautiful beings, and welcome back to the channel. Please check out the description, like, subscribe, do all the things. I also have something very special in the description, an announcement of a retreat that I will be leading in September and October. I'd love it if you check that out. But today's video is about the cycles of healing and how when we understand this one core piece of information about healing, spirituality, growth, and transformation, the journey becomes so much gentler, so much more embodied, so much more even fun and playful and curious instead of harsh and difficult and I'm still here. And it's a perspective shift, and I want to help shift your perspective from kind of like the colonizer's version of healing to the more indigenous, holistic, earth, goddess-based version of healing, which means healing isn't I work on it, I fix it, or I fail. Healing is everything happens in cycles, and we honor those cycles. And we're not here to fix ourselves, but to love ourselves and to learn how to navigate what comes up in a way that is less painful and more enlivened and even enjoyable. And the key piece to this is to understand cycles and to view things, to start stepping back and looking at what you're working on in your life as something that's got its own cycle. So maybe you're processing through grief from a death or a breakup. Maybe you're processing through health issues and all the trauma that's entangled in there. Maybe you're processing through anxiety or depression, or just your own patterns of holding yourself back or self-shame or people-pleasing. And maybe you've done work on this and you've got this expectation that at some point it's going to be fixed. And if you just do the right things and enough of the right things in the right order and you put enough effort in, this isn't going to be part of you anymore. And that's where I see a lot of people experience pain in their lives because they're working through these issues and thinking that life is going to start on the other side of these issues. But your soul came in and said, I want experiences and I want to grow from these experiences. And there's always growth to be had. And the soul's always like, but we can grow in this way and this way and this way. And the ego's like, but we just need to check this off the list and move on and start real life where we're more perfect. And the soul's like, no, there was pain here. And even though maybe you've pulled the main wound out, there's shrapnel left behind, and sometimes that shrapnel can give the sensation of being as big as the wound. So you'll think you're over something, you think you've cried it all out or raged it all out, and then that grief or that rage or that helplessness or that people-pleasing, it pops up again. And it's not that you've failed, it's not that you're not doing enough, and it's not that you're not doing the right things. It's that your perspective on healing is a little too colonizer, and it needs to be a little bit more holistic, human, indigenous, earthwise, because we are nature. We are not separate from her. Okay, we've been taught to believe we take from her. We do. It's for us, it's for us, it's for us. And in truth, all of us are here. We're for the trees are for us, right? So we're part of nature. And when we start seeing ourselves as part of nature, well, what does nature do? She blooms, she sheds, she grows, she seeds, she sprouts. She moves through all of these cycles. Then you're free, because truly the enslavement is not the sickness, it's not the grief, it's not the pain. The enslavement is the judgment we have on ourselves while we're going through the healing process, and our preconceived notions that we're separate from nature. That's what's kicking your butt, is probably some programming from childhood that says you need to be better, you need to do better, you need to work harder to get love, you need to work harder to get what you want, or you're not doing it right, you can't trust your instincts. Some stuff like that goes on under the surface, and it makes people feel anxious for whatever they're working through to be done and over with. And I'm here to tell you, you can kick and scream and say it's not fair all you want, but this is your life. Life doesn't start after you check this off your list or fix this about yourself or heal this thing. Your life is happening right now in this very second. This is it. And how you show up in this moment makes this moment what it is. And in the next moment, and the next, and the next. And this is a very human concept. I'm not even going to say evolved. It's not an evolved concept. It's just a very human concept. And I don't expect everyone to be able to grok it or even want it for themselves. Because a lot of people are so caught up in needing to escape things and needing to be a certain way to feel acceptable for life and all this inhuman stuff that we've been programmed to. But the truth is, once you reach a certain place of consciousness, it's up to you if you're programmed or not. It's up to you if you're going to maintain the programming. It's up to you if you're going to keep making yourself unhappy, miserable, stressed out, anxious. It's up to you if you're going to keep maintaining a life that your soul is screaming in protest against. Or are you going to show up in your life with love and compassion and courage and take it step by step and trust? That's a big part of healing. You know, if you do the big work and you're waiting for it to be fixed, you're not going to get the best result. When I work with my clients, I always say, be gentle with yourself afterwards. If you want to get the most bang for your buck from this session, I want you to go home and be as gentle as you possibly can with yourself, because there's a very important time of integration that happens. If we keep doing the work with no integration, we're not going to get the benefits. And true integration really means surrender. It doesn't mean scroll on social media and go check off your checklist and stress out about something. True integration means relax, create, get into a place where you're actually more expanded and surrendered. Trust the cycle. Trust that you took action and now you need to let go. And then you can take some more action and you can let go. And trust that the pattern's coming up and it's ebbing and flowing and it's feeling crunchy and it's releasing and it's getting malleable and it's expanding and moving. When you start trusting and playing with the challenges in your life, but really trusting that it's cyclical and it's not a pass or fail, I think you're free. I think that's when you're free. I think that's when you're free. A lot of people have taken the pass-fail programming of modern, tame society and tried to put it on their wild, natural selves. And then they take it into their spiritual journey with them. And they're like, I need to pass or fail. I awoke my kundalini, but I still have issues. What's going on? And it's like, man, it's not about that. See, you've got this preconceived notion of what you and your life are supposed to be before life starts for you. And that's your pass point, right? When I get to this point, when I heal this, when I do this, when I'm no longer feeling this, when I feel this way, then I get to start life and I've healed it. And it's like, that's not how it works. Because guess what? You're going to mulch again. You're going to seed again. You're going to sprout again. You're going to flourish again. And then you're going to, the leaves are going to fall again. And you're going to feel like you're riding a roller coaster if you just are so hell-bent on, I'm going to grow, become better. It's like, for what and for who? Why do you think you're separate from nature? Why do you think that you're not going to go back into the earth and do it all over again? Where are you trying to get to? Where are you trying to run to? You don't have to run anywhere. There's nowhere to go. There's no ladder to climb. The ladder is faux. It's a fake ladder. Trust the cycles. Even if it's not the best, just make the best of it by being as loving as you can possibly be with yourself. That means holding space for your rage, for your grief. That means saying, I can live now, even if I'm not where I think I need to be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. I can really be who I am now. I have permission. I have permission to be fully alive in whatever cycle of life that I'm in. And that's going to help you move through the cycles, move on the wheel. When you get judgmental about the place you are on the wheel, you get stuck there. This life thing, man, it's not a logical, linear process. It's an intuitive, sort of magical